Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and share the video. Now, in the past, Deontay Wilder has said that it's not about the money for him. It's all about his legacy. That's an interesting statement to make when today I hear that you turned down a very important contract. Now, let's get into this contract. I'm not sure if it's 100% true or not, but shout out to Sport Icons for dropping the info. Now, Deontay Wilder was offered Dillian Whyte at a rate of $4 million plus US TV money. And if he were to beat Dillian Whyte, he would get a chance to face Anthony Joshua next. And this was in the contract. He would be provided $10 million for the Anthony Joshua fight, which is a lot of money considering he makes $1.2 million a fight. Now, if you're not in this for the money and it's strictly about your legacy, why did you turn that deal down? It seems really odd when you were really pushing for this fight with, what do you call him, A Juicy J, Anthony Joshua. Yet you turned down a deal that you asked for at a very generous rate, if I must say so myself. A very generous rate. But Deontay Wilder still wants 50-50. He still wants half of the pot. But is he deserving of half the pot with that resume? I don't think so. And we could talk all day about Deontay Wilder's resume. I don't really feel like getting into the argument of that conversation at the moment. But nonetheless, it's a weak resume. Regardless of who backed out of what fight or who popped dirty for this substance, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the resume doesn't reflect the body of work that it should with that amount of fights. All right? We're just being honest here. We're being as simple as we can at the moment, okay? I don't hate Deontay Wilder. I want him to step up and fight tough competition. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Do I want to see the Anthony Joshua fight? Absolutely. Would I like to see it next? Absolutely, man. But on the other side of the equation, I look at Deontay Wilder, I'm just like, dude, do you even deserve this fight? You might be like, yeah, he does. He's the WBC champion. He's got the most coveted belt in all of boxing, and he does. He does. He beat Bermane Stiverne for the belt. And since beating Bermane Stiverne, he's done nothing. Aside from knocking out Bermane Stiverne when he was unable to fight a dirty Luis Ortiz. But, I could go down the list of opponents he's had since he won, and I'm just not that impressed. It's just not that impressive of a resume. You could argue that Joseph Parker has a better resume. I would say that Deontay Wilder, a generous portion would be 35% of the pot. I think $10 million is a good amount of money for him to be offered. I think that's fair. I'm thinking he's just counting Anthony Joshua's money, and you really shouldn't be doing that. Like the homie Logistics said, all you got to do, you take the money, you beat Joshua, then you become the A-side, and you get to dictate terms. Then you become the money man. Then you get the respect, bro. I'm telling you, if Deontay Wilder if he knocks out Anthony Joshua, do you know what that would do to the world? Do you know how much that would raise his profile to knock out Anthony Joshua? And I feel like Deontay Wilder has a good shot at beating Anthony Joshua. That's just my opinion. You can look back at my videos. I've always said this. I think he knocks him out. In a situation where Klitschko had AJ in trouble, I think if that were Wilder, there would be no Anthony Joshua. Like, he'd be done. He would have been done at that point. Thing is, with Anthony Joshua is his competition has steadily gotten more and more better. Like, his fights he's gotten better as a fighter himself by facing better competition. Say what you want about Vladimir Klitschko. You can say that he was old, he was a shot fighter, but that's not the case. That's the best Vladimir Klitschko I've seen in the present day, and I'm not real big on watching Vladimir Klitschko fights. But you could very well argue that that fight with him and AJ was the fight of the year, 2017. And let's not talk about boxing dying, because it's not dying, bro. It's still on the come up, man. It's still popping right now, all right? We still got good fights coming up. 2017 was a great year for fights. But anyway, back to Wilder. He turned down this deal. This is the same thing that he asked for from Eddie Hearn. He asked to get Dillian White. He said that he would, no. He asked for Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn refused unless he fought Dillian White. And he was like, yeah, I'll fight Dillian White so long as Anthony Joshua is connected to that contract in some way, shape, or form. And it's not about the money, it's about the legacy. So why is it that you're turning this down? It makes you look like you ducking right now. You know, it's got to be a matter of him feeling like he's worth more money. Feels like he's worth more than 10 mil, which is cool. I mean, that's fine and all, but don't make a statement saying, you know, it's not about the money, it's about the legacy. But you've proven that to be incorrect by turning down this contract. You've proven that to be incorrect, thinking that you deserve 50-50 with Anthony Joshua. Are you selling out arenas with hundreds of thousands of people? Are you making $20 million a fight? Are you making $15 million a fight? What's your highest payday? I don't even think you made $5 million in one night. But hey, you got to get in where you can fit in, right? I think maybe this is just a tactic to. This is very similar to what we saw in the Triple G Canelo negotiations when they offered Triple G a flat rate and he denied it, or rather he didn't take it. I think he got a couple more fights in it, then he got a much bigger slice of the pie. Now Deontay Wilder's got a couple of options here. He can go ahead and go fight Dominic Brazil. He might even be able to fight Luis Ortiz. I think, well, yeah, Luis Ortiz has been reinstated. I believe he's still ranked number 3 by the WBC. So Deontay Wilder's he's got options at the moment if this AJ stuff falls through. Of course, AJ's got options. I believe he's in negotiations with Joseph Parker, and from what I can tell, it seems like those negotiations are close to we're close to getting a fight between the two. I haven't really been following the Joseph Parker thing, but honestly, Joseph Parker should be fighting Wilder, man. I mean, why is it that he's not fighting Wilder? Why is it that we couldn't get that fight? But I mean, I understand. If I was in the heavyweight division, I'd be going after Anthony Joshua too, strictly for the money and not because of the legacy. Trust me. Um, you stand to make a lot of money with Anthony Joshua. You know, he's the cash cow over in the UK. He's the cash cow of the heavyweight division, period. Deontay Wilder is very envious of that. I think Deontay Wilder is slightly jealous about the fanfare that Anthony Joshua gets, but I mean, you have opportunities to build your resume. You have opportunities to build yourself up as a champion. I like what Deontay Wilder's doing. I heard today he was on what was that, Sway in the Morning, something like that. You know, just keep doing that, Wilder. I mean, the thing is, you got to get your profile up. I mean, of course, the AJ fight would get your profile up, but can you imagine, you know, him getting a fight or two in 2018? Well, at least fighting Ortiz. Imagine that, you know, knocking him out. Going on to, and imagine if you knock him out in impressive fashion. Then you can go on to all these late night talk shows. They can play the clip of you knocking him out. Then the people start rallying behind you, man. People like knockouts, man. That's what the heavyweight division is good for. That's what Deontay Wilder's good for. He's good for knockouts. Gotta raise your profile, bro. But again, I ain't blocking the fight. Just I mean nothing in the grand scheme of things of when it comes to negotiations and getting this fight together, but it's a fight that's gonna happen. It's gotta happen. It may not happen when you want it to happen, but it will happen. Hopefully the negotiations continue on and we get that fight near the end of 2018 or at the earliest summer 2018 and we can have a unified champion at heavyweight. Let me know what you guys think about Deontay Wilder turning down that $10 million plus Dillian White. Hitman Boxing. If I was incorrect about the amounts, just let me know. I mean, drop the real info. It is what it is, man. I just heard from Sport Icon, so I'm out.